Sorry for the delay. For the free stuff, you'll wait forever, won't you? Well, here we go. 200th edition of Q&A from TaxSpeaker. Bob Jennings with you tonight. 5 o'clock live. You got a question, you can type it in. What are we going to do in addition to answering the 15 questions? I'm going to give you away all kinds of good stuff. The really good thing for everybody here, I've kept the value of the gift under $600, so you won't get a $10.99 from us. We've chosen the names randomly. I got them right here. You can't see them, but I can. And we know who's going to win now. They were a random selection. Ryan printed it off just around lunchtime today. They were randomly selected. And we'll go through and give these things away. So what are we giving away? Well, before I even tell you, how about we answer a question? Isn't that why we're here? I know you're thinking, come on, Bob. It's 5 o'clock Eastern time. Give us some stuff. Well, let me answer a question or two first. First question. This is on the electric car credit as part of the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. And if you remember, there's been a whole bunch of changes. If you haven't, don't worry about it. We'll be talking about it in the 1040. So the first question says, Bob, must the purchased electric vehicle be delivered by December 31st? Be delivered by December 31st to qualify for the 2022 credit. It is on the list of vehicles eligible for the $7,500 credit after August 17th, or is a signed binding contract by 12/31/22 sufficient? Well, I'm going to give you a site. You've printed the answers possibly. In the Act, on page 402 and 403, here's what it says. It says if you have a signed purchase order dated before August 15th. Now, what you didn't say was when did you buy the car? So if you have a signed purchase order before August 15, 2022, then you can qualify for the credit in 2022. Even though maybe the car is not delivered, you can qualify for the credit. If you bought the car after the August 14th date, after, August 15th or later, no, you're going to have to wait till next year to take the credit, all right? So you do qualify for the credit, but you got to have a signed contract beforehand, and you will qualify for the credit on the 22 return if you sign the contract, but it was not able to be delivered until after that date. Let me do another one. I'm going to tease you for a few minutes. Number 2, can you send me a site that will give me the latest guidance on inherited IRA minimum distributions? Again, something I'll be talking about this fall. I've given you a hyperlink, but in IRS Notice 2022-53, that's where the latest rules are for the year 2021 and 2022. One more, that'll get us a fifth of the way through, and then I'll give some stuff away. Hey, hold on. How about we give something away right now? Okay? So, you want to give something good or something not so good? How about this? When I realized we were going to do this seminar and we're going to do it live, I thought, not only do we want to give you the things we told you about, I have talked to a couple of people I work with. We're going to do a little more. So for everybody here today, yes, winner, chicken dinner, we're going to give everybody who wants it, we're going to give you a Schedule C webinar. You can go to our online website, and Matt Johnson, who runs our Q&A program, literally within the last 30 minutes gave you a 50% off discount. You don't need a code. It's good right now. You sign up whenever you want, just 50% off of that one. So there's a freebie you hadn't planned on. You're going to hear a couple more as we go through these. All right? How about we do another question? Now, Bob, I want my free stuff. Yeah, hold on here. All right? I'm going to have fun with this too. Number 3. Most recently, Intuit doubled prices. Any suggestion to replace the QuickBooks accountant software? This one I don't really have an answer for. I used to try to use Xero, Xero. I never was really happy with it. And their customer service, maybe it was because in the early days, I didn't like their customer service, so I don't recommend it. I'm not going to knock it. I will say I tried it without success. I do know some people are using Sage software. So maybe that's your alternative. So what do you think? Should we give something away good or should we not? How about we go ahead and give away one of the 500, and what'd you tell me it was, Ryan? $529 Remarkables. All right. So The guys in the office, the ladies in the office love these. Everybody I've seen them loves them. It allows you, it's a tablet type device, and it allows you to make your notes in cursive. And then if I remember correctly, it will save them as, go ahead, correct me.
It's basically an electric notepad that we have a marker plus, and it is a digital paper analog.
Yeah, well, it's really good stuff, okay? I don't know exactly what Ryan just said, but I have seen him use it. It looks like a pretty cool thing. I just haven't used it myself. So here we go. We're going to give away one of those. That's the Remarkable version 2, the latest version. We literally just got them in here about a week ago. First one, Tracy Pearson. Tracy Pearson out of Garden City, Idaho. Now, Tracy and everybody who wins something, we're going to send you an email, and you're going to have to confirm when we send you the email. You're going to have to confirm the email before we send this thing out. Okay, so Tracy Pearson, you just won the first Remarkable. Let me answer another question. I've only got 15, and frankly, I'd like to get rid of all the questions and then give this stuff away. Number 4, in an earlier session, Bob, I think you told people to start drawing against their spouse's Social Security as a spouse benefit and allow their own benefit to increase until age 70 at 8% a year. Isn't that only an option if they were born, I believe, before 1954? If born, for example, in 57 or 65, would they be able to draw against their spouse's Social Security? This is called a restricted application, and as I mentioned in other classes, the only people who can use this had to be born before 1954. So you are correct. So, for example, in our household, Jean, my wife, many of you have heard me talk about her. Jean signed up for her Social Security at her full retirement age of 66. I did not sign up. I haven't signed up yet. But because I was born before 1954, I signed up using a restricted application. I'm drawing half of her benefit as my spouse option. And since I continue to work, when I do hit 70, then I'll go ahead and sign up for my full benefit at that time. All right, so there was number 4. One more, and then we're going to give some more away. That way we'll be a third done with the questions. Number 5. I've got a client who spent $40,000 on 3 new rooftop air conditioning units. They also spent another $3,700 for a roofer to flash around the units. It's my understanding this 39-year property for depreciation. Are all these costs eligible for 179? You didn't say what kind of property it is, but if it's commercial property, then it is 39 years, but it does qualify for 179. If it's residential property, sadly, it's 27 and a half years, and you don't get no stinking 179 on that one. So commercial property, air conditioners do qualify for Section 179. How about we give away a couple of the Kindles? Ryan, if you would, tell us a little about this. This is a Kindle Paperwhite. We got 5 of them we're going to give away. Ryan, what does this do?
The Kindle Paperwhite, of course, is just the standard ebook reader with built-in backlight. Unlike the Remarkable, it's one of the main differences. No touch screen or no writing on the screen, but it is a touch screen. It's slightly waterproof. It's a great device if you want to use it by the pool, on the beach, or anywhere you want to read any of your tax documents.
So any of your tax documents, really, folks? Really? So what I'm hoping is when we send out the email on one of these, I'd like to have one of these to read on a plane. But until that time, here we go. Maria McCord, Portland, Oregon. There you go, Maria. You win one of the Kindle Paperwhites. Why don't we do another one? Hey, let's do another one. Nina Sidibe from Indianapolis, Sidibe. You also win one of these things, okay? Now, one of the things that I live and breathe by is a software called Judy's 10 Key. And it isn't anything real fancy, but it's just an on-screen calculator that you can pin to a PDF. You know, you scan in client stuff. We're going to give 10 of those away. So how about I go ahead and do a couple of them right now. Aaron Von Felt from Abilene. Aaron, Maybe I'll be seeing you next week. I'll be in Garden City next Thursday and Friday. And come over and say hello if you are. So, Aaron, you win one. Here, let's do another couple. Johnine Markham. Johnine, it says you're from Los Angeles, but I didn't think you were from there. But that's okay. I know Johnine, but that's okay. Johnine, you're going to win a Judy's 10 key as well. Now, my personal favorite, we're going to do one more. Winner of Judy's 10 key. This has to be one of the best emails of all. I won't give you the whole email, but it starts with Grumpy's wife. I'm telling you, you got to win something, don't you, if you're married to old Grumpy? All right, Jody Porter from DeGraff, Ohio. All right, so Jody, you're going to win one as well. Now, let's get back to it. Let me do another question or two. Number 6. Guys, you're going to have to keep track of these. I think I can remember. Number 6, I've got an S-corporation client being audited, and the auditor's requesting shareholder stock and debt basis calculations from all the way back in their inception through 2021. They've been in business for 13 years. No, I'm okay. The client began business in 2008. We've only got records going back 7 years. How do you recommend we respond to the request? Is the client responsible for keeping basis from the inception? Well, yeah, there's the short answer. Sorry, but if you only keep 7 years, how do we know? And I'm not questioning you, but if I'm the IRS agent, how do we know that whatever you began with as beginning balance is correct and not pulled out of the air? I'm sorry for that answer, but that is the answer that we got. Okay, let's do another one. Another question. Number 7. What are the suggested report modifications for an enrolled agent to issue compiled financial statements? Any suggestions, practical applications, or reference materials? Well, first, this is actually ruled by your state board of accountancy wherever you're living. A lot of different state boards have a safe harbor wording recommendation, and I don't know what your state is, but as a general rule, you use the standard compilation report and you drop the sentence in the paragraph that refers to the AICPA. I don't know of any reference material out there that gives you guidance because this is not a usual thing and because it's regulated by the state boards of accountancy. Okay, now let's give something else away. Let's give away a couple of more Judy's 10 key. This is going to be a big day for Garden City. Julie Rumford. Julie, I'll see you next week. I know from Scott City, Kansas, you're going to win a Judy's 10 key as well, and you'll get an email. Let's do one more of those from New Mexico. Lisa Contreras from Chaparral, New Mexico. Now, I got to make a couple of comments. We've got a couple of people here. Johnine Markham had to have signed up when we first started Q&A 4 years ago. She's been with us for 4 years, and we're in our 4th year now, so a couple of people knew. Lisa Contreras, you've been in the Q&A for a little less than a year, so thank you. Now, we have some monthly subscribers and yearly subscribers in all of it. So we've done 10 of the Judy's 10 keys, but I've only done 1 of the Remarkables and 2 of the Kindle Paperwhites. Yeah, you're right. How about I give something else? All right, not one of these things. We're going to save them for a few minutes. How about this one? If you don't win Judy's 10 key, they have given us, I've contacted them, they've given us a 15% discount, all right, so we got 15% here, we got 50% up here. They've given us a 15% discount if you order it with the code, as you can imagine, TaxSpeaker. By the way, we don't get any free products, discounts, or commissions on any of this stuff. I've just contacted all of them. So even if you don't win, that's not a big deal. That's $3, but $3. All right, so I'll come back to the other one here in a minute. Let me do another question. Number 8. Taxpayer has gifted $200,000 to each of his 3 children 2 years ago in 2020. They didn't tell us about it, and now we know. They've not used any applicable credit. Would you file a late 2020 gift tax form 709 now, even though it's late, because it won't have any penalty and interest? Absolutely. That is exactly what I would do. I think because this is about the last main form out there without a late filing penalty, I'd take advantage of it while you can. Yes, I would file the late 2020 709s for your client. How about we do another remarkable, a big one, huh? So we're going to give away another one of these fantastic remarkable things, and this one is going to go to Stratford, New York. Gary Smith, Stratford, New York. That's funny, we don't even go to New York, but you've signed up for our Q&A on an annual basis, and you've been with us for almost 3 years. And Gary, thank you. We appreciate all of you. I hope for everybody that the Q&A has been worthwhile. We get a lot of participation, and it is a way for me to answer your questions. Most of them are right, not all of them. If you've been around long enough, you know from time to time I'll correct, or we'll have one of my speakers sometimes, they'll say, Bob, were you aware of this? And of course I wasn't, or I wouldn't have answered it that way. But in any event, we are 3,000 plus questions into this now in our 4th year, maybe more than that, but thank you so much for doing it. Let's do another question. Now, number 9. It says, Bob, I see more and more regular clients getting K-1s with extra pages regarding foreign tax forms, Form 926 and 8858, and the instructions just say, talk to your tax advisor, which is me, all right? Is there an easy way to explain and remember whether we need to do anything with these forms, AGI levels, etc.? Well, 6 years ago, I wrote a short course, I think it was a 2-hour class on foreign asset and income reporting. And I developed a chart that showed all the forms and most of the information about it. I've not updated that course in 6 years, but what I've done is 2 things. I have included a reprint of that chart, and if you print this off, you'll see it. It has not been updated since 2016. So the other thing that I wanted to mention is, if I'd have enough interest, I'd redo this course and bring it up to date today. But for now, I don't have any helpful chart. I got this 6-year-old one, but I could certainly do another one if you'd like. But I need interest. I think I sold 2 of them. And when you got a new book with a whole lot of research and writing, that doesn't work out real well, does it? Okay. Over to number 10. I don't like number 10, so let's give something away. How about we do another Kindle Paperwhite? All right, this is our 3rd one of these, and that will be from Hood River, Oregon, Wendy Willow. Wendy, thank you. You've been with us now. My gosh, you were a fairly early subscriber. You've been doing it for 3 years. Thank you, Wendy. Hope you enjoy it. Again, everybody, if you win, you are going to get an email confirming before we go sending this out. We want to make sure we got the right address. And those emails will be going out. Matt, when will you send the emails out on this? Tomorrow. So look in your email tomorrow, and if you didn't get it, we don't have the right email. The guys commented to me before we started, a lot of people aren't real good about giving us correct email, so just saying there.
He said woohoo.
Woohoo! All right. Let's see. Number 10. It says Form 8962, line 5. You're in my favorite tax form ball, isn't it? Form 8962. All right. If my client began collecting unemployment compensation in 2020 and then continued until 2021, does this nullify the 133% clause? I'm not really sure what your question is, but I've gone ahead and typed out my answer from the only one I'm going to read to you. Individuals who've received or been approved to receive unemployment at any time in 21 can visit healthcare.gov to receive maximum subsidies under ACA. Income will be treated as no higher than the 133% threshold. I hope that answers your question for 21. I wasn't actually totally complete on that one. All right, number 11. I actually did number 11 last week. It's about education credits and plans. So refer to last week. The answer is yes, you can set your education programs up for classes, but refer to last week's question. So we've done 11. We got 3 or 4 more. How about we give something else away? How about we do a couple of more Judy's 10 keys? All right, there's 5 more of those. Let's get them out of the way. All right, we've got from St. Albans, West Virginia, Haley Odell. Haley, thank you for signing up. I've never spoken, well, let me restate that. I've never spoken at a tax seminar in West Virginia. I did teach at the West Virginia Institute of Technology in Montgomery, West Virginia, 37 years ago. But that's, yeah, how do I know that? Because my son's 36 and my wife was pregnant at that time. Okay, so there you go. How about another one of those freebies? Get ready for the woohoo. All right. Now, wait a minute. It's another Garden City, Idaho winner. It's the same CPA firm. Okay, Ryan, did you stack the deck here? I don't know. Absolutely. He said, absolutely not, I think is what he means. From Garden City, Idaho, Renee Verley, you win another Judy's 10 key. Okay? I'm going to do another Judy's 10 key, and then we'll answer a question. Judy's 10 key, another freebie here from Yuba City, California, another state that I do not speak in. Owen Arnoff. Owen, thank you for your Q&A subscription, and you get 1 month free. Is that because the Judy's 10 key costs $20? Okay, so you get that one for free. Well, Bob, you still got some really good stuff. I know. Yeah, I know. All right, how about we answer a question? Number 12. There's only 15. Number 12, are you all recommending folks get set up with a cybersecurity company to to handle the WISP documents? The WISP is the IRS's Written Information Security Policy Plan. You don't need an outsider. In fact, the IRS recently released an incredible tool, one of the best things they've ever done, that is a tool that allows you to create your own program. I have given you the hyperlink in the written answers. I'll be doing that in the 1040, in the security section of the 1040 as well. But no, we don't do it. Number 13 is the pre-AGI charity deduction for 2022, still $600. Bobby, I haven't heard of any increase. And with all of the inflation, maybe it went up. Actually, it went down. Oh, how did it go down with inflation? Because it expired at the end of 21, it went down to zero. There isn't any pre-AGI deduction this year. Gosh, we have 2 questions left. Let me do the one more up here, and we'll give away a remarkable. Okay, I use a product for electronic file cabinet called File Center. It's out of Salt Lake City. The rep is a guy named Kevin Anderson. I think he's vice president of sales or something too. And I was talking to Kevin earlier today. He said, what do you guys got going today? I heard you had something on YouTube. And I said, we're doing a free Q&A. For all I know, Kevin's on here. He can't win, by the way. For all I know, Kevin's on here. He said, do you guys do anything with portals? And I said, well, yeah, I recommend them every now and then. He said, I tell you what, if you mention it, there's nothing in this for me. All right, he said, if you mention it, he said, what I'll do, he said, normally that sells, the portal portion sells for $149.95 per person. He said, if you email him directly, and again, I don't get a commission, I don't get a free product, the company doesn't, nothing like that. He said, if you email him directly, he'll give it to you for $99.95. So a $50 discount, nobody knew about that but me until now. $50, that's a third off. That's a pretty doggone good discount. All right, that's Kevin, and thank you, Kevin Anderson, even if you're not watching. I said I'd give away another remarkable. I lied. Number 14. I'll give away another remarkable. I know I can see half of you whining and crying right now. All right, so here we go. Another remarkable. This is the third one. Collinsville, Illinois, just outside of St. Louis. Richard Grawline, Collinsville, Illinois. I know where it is. I used to race horses there at the old racetrack. What was the name of that racetrack? You don't remember? Fairmount Park. All right. Nobody cares. Number 14. Does the 26% solar power credit apply to second homes? Well, first, you ought to be aware they made it retroactively go back up to 30% for this year. So it's 30%. Second, does it apply to a second home? In the new law, I don't know if they did it on purpose or because of ignorance, Congress dropped the word that said what? Principal residence. All it says now is it has to go in a residence, meaning, yeah, you can get the 30% solar credit on a second home. Ooh, okay. Let's do our other two Judy's 10 keys. I've only got one more question. All right, so the other two Judy's 10 key, Batesville, Indiana, the home of the caskets. Peter Mack. Peter Mack, you win the Batesville, Indiana. You win the Judy's 10 key. Thank you, Peter. And finally, the last Judy's 10 key, again from Los Angeles, California, Sarah Lucilla. Sarah, you win the Judy's 10 key. How about we do another Kindle Paperwhite, and then we'll save the best for last. We still have one more Kindle Paperwhite and two more Remarkables. The other second to last Kindle Paperwhite. I messed up. Hey, Peter Mack, you didn't win a Judy's 10 key. Sorry about that, buddy. You win one of these instead. All right, I think you're okay with that, right? All right, so Peter Mack, you didn't win a Judy's 10 key. Instead, you won a Kindle Paperwhite. All right, so that means I missed somebody. I see it. Lance Dielman, Wilton, Iowa. Lance, you won a Judy's 10 key. As did Alan Krasnoff from Delray Beach, Florida. You won a Judy's 10 key. That should be all the Judy's 10 keys. Is that correct? Believe so?
Thank you. She appreciates everything.
And who says that?
Sarah Lucilla.
Sarah, great. Great. Thank you, Sarah. So, did I mess that up too?
Like I said, each should be in a section.
Yeah, well.
I don't have my own list here.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through the list. I see I have not given away one Paperwhite and two Remarkables. Okay? So, the Judy's 10 key winners. Hey, I'm an accountant. I can't get things off a list correctly. All right? So, Judy's 10 key, we got Aaron Von Felt from Abilene, Kansas. We have Johnine Markham from Los Angeles. Jody Porter from DeGraff, Ohio. Julie Rumford from Scott City, Kansas. Lisa Contreras from Chaparral, New Mexico. The other five Judy's 10 keys. Haley Odell from St. Albans, West Virginia. Here we go. These are ones I missed. Renee Burley from Garden City, Idaho. That's from Pearson CPAs. Owen Arnoff from Yuba City, California. You win a Judy's 10 key. Alan Krasnoff from Delray Beach, Florida. And Lance Dielman from Wilton, Iowa. Those are the Judy's 10 keys. On the Amazon Kindles, I've given away 4. I'm going to go ahead and do the 5th because I'm not sure who I missed. All right, so you're going to be on the list if you hear your name. You also are a winner. Here you go, the 5 winners of the Amazon Kindle. Marla McCord from Portland, Oregon. Nina Sadibi from Indianapolis. Wendy Willow from Hood River, Oregon. Peter Mack, you win one out of Batesville, Indiana. And Sarah Lucilla, you win one as well. Now that leaves 2 Remarkables. I know I got those, but let me answer the 15th question. It says, Bob, oh man, you know, did you read my newsletter last week? Did you read that newsletter? I kind of got angry about that one, and I get this email, lights me right back up. Bob Cutter, sole proprietor, use the accrual method. I had a friend at a national firm told me all businesses have to use the accrual method. Well, let me just summarize best as I can. Your friend is an ignorant moron, all right, who works at a national firm and has drank the juice. Why? They don't know anything about what we do. If your average revenues are less than $27 million, you may use the cash method. That number actually went to $29 million for next year. I just found out this morning. So, you want 2 more of these, and then we'll be done? Huh? Or should I just go ahead and end now? I will take any questions if you got them. Please don't make them long. It's 5:30 here. All right? I don't want to do it any more than you guys do. You just want the free stuff and go home. All right? I'm going for dessert when we're done. Number 4 out of 5. The 4th of our 5 Remarkables. From Eureka, California, Harrison Gray. Come on down. Harrison, you win the number 4. And the 5th and final. Any questions yet? Any tax questions? Any questions? Any questions at all? Would you speed it up and give that last one a day there, fat man?
Tons of thank yous.
Tons of thank yous, but you're all just saying, give me the last one. Now, I read this name, and I got to say something about it. I might know an uncle. Yeah, we got a question. Sorry. The rest of you, send that person an ugly, nasty email. They've asked a question. Go ahead.
Has the presidential state of emergency for COVID ended? If not, are employers still able to make a Code Section 139 disaster relief payment?
That's an acceptable question. In March of 2020, the president declared a national presidential disaster as a result of COVID. And even though President Biden recently said something incorrectly, his office came out a week and a half ago and clarified, yes, we are still in a state of disaster. Yes, Section 139 does still work. If you don't know what it is, I will be talking about the 1040. I'm going to give you one last ad, then I'm going to give this last thing away. You know, we do a number of things here for you. If you don't subscribe to our newsletter, every Tuesday, goes out usually around lunchtime Eastern time. Every Tuesday outside of tax season. Most of them are great. A couple of them aren't. That's the way it is. But I think about them every week when I write them. Next week's is a chart of all the 2023 numbers. All right. And today's you already saw. A couple of questions online. Go ahead.
Under bonus depreciation, how many vehicles over 6,000 pounds can you buy within a year?
How many vehicles over 6,000 pounds can you buy within the year? As much as the bank will lend you the money to buy, right? There is no limit on that. There is an SUV depreciation limit, but the over 6,000 GVW rule, that only applies to SUVs, and that's per SUV. And what is that, $26,000 or $27,000? So there really is no limit. Another question.
For 2022, if only foreign income is from a mutual fund, is K2 required?
So we got a K2 question, huh? Couldn't leave it alone, could you? All right, for 2022, no one is going to like this answer. Every single Form 1065 filed in America and every single Form 1120S filed in America will require a K2 to be completed with the appropriate K3s for the shareholders or partners. There is no waiver in effect this year like there was for 2021. Now, that could change tomorrow. Now, that is today, October 25th, 2022. As of today, you're going to have to do the K2 for everybody, whether you had foreign income or not. Another question? A couple of them?
What are your thoughts on tax preparers that file for an S-corp election for taxpayers that don't have a valid Social Security, but instead only have the I-10?
We want to file an S election for an individual that does not have a Social Security but has a valid I-10. Well, generally that person that has a valid I-10 is what's called a resident alien, and they are allowed stockholders in an S-corp. They are allowed as a resident alien with a green card and an I-10. They are allowed to be an S-corp shareholder. Another one?
We've had quite a few people ask for technology updates beyond just security, so we can always look into that.
Okay, let me address that. Ryan and I have played with the idea of bringing the technology class back. We haven't really made a final decision. I won't make that decision until we're done with seminars. The problem with any class, I got to be able to sell enough to make it worth my while to come up with a new book. The other thing is Ryan has young children at home, and I don't want him to be living his dad's life. So, keep the emails up. Let us know that you really would like it, even as a webinar. And I'll give it a consideration. We thought about doing a short version one too, like a 2, 3, or 4 hour one. So just let us know. Let Ryan know. Ryan J at TaxSpeaker. I'm sorry.
Info.
Or info at TaxSpeaker. Let us know. We'll consider it. Another one.
Where can my trucker driver client deduct his expenses?
My truck driver client. Well, if he's self-employed, he's going to deduct his expenses on Schedule C. Sadly, if he's a W-2, he doesn't get a deduction, but maybe his employer has an accountable plan where they can reimburse him. But if they're a W-2 employee, there is no deduction for that anymore. Another one? Is that it for now?
Lots of comments. They really like that idea of a short tech. Here we go. Can a grouping election allow you to take a loss on a self-rental that would normally not be allowed?
Can a grouping election allow you to take a loss on a self-rental that's normally not allowed. You cannot group self-rental with non-self-rental. Sorry, bad answer on that one, but that is the answer. Thank you for that. Any more? Well, I'll do another tax question or two, whatever you got.
Can you claim ERC, or claim ERC is client had supply chain issues and lost business due to state issues, but still had a really good year?
Can you claim the ERC saying supposed supply chain issues, but the bottom line is the client still had a great year? I'm going to go against the grain. I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say hell no. You can't do it. It's fraud. All right, well, but so-and-so down there at such and such said that I can get hundreds of thousands of dollars and they'll only charge me a third. Don't do it. You don't qualify. Unless you've actually had a disruption proven by a greater than 10% reduction in income, no. I don't care if you had supply chain or not. You got to show you had a disruption in your business. Did Terry Baker feed me that question? No.
No,
she knew I'd light up on that.
She tech seminar because they're expensive. She has to buy all the new tech like the Remarkables.
Yeah, well, okay. We still got one to give away. Is that it for now?
That's it for now.
All right. Last item. I know who the winner is. Now, for a quick $100 bill, I can write a name in here because I'm in control. Not coming through the internet. Even a picture of a $100 bill isn't doing it. So here we go. From Knightstown, Indiana, Debbie Ripperger. You win the last one. And if you got an uncle named Ed, tell him Bob says hello. Folks, that concludes us for this week. I'll see you again next week. We won't be live. You know, I always recorded a day or so before. But again, you know, 200 issues of this. We've answered a lot of questions. Thank you so much for sticking with us, answering the questions. Most of them are good. Some of them aren't, but I hope to see you again next time. What are you going to do at 300, Bob, 2 years from now? I don't know. We'll give away a swimming pool. How's that? All right. Yeah, count on it now. Write it down. But you got to be a subscriber for the next 100 issues. I'll give away a swimming pool. No, I didn't say if it'd be inflatable or not. But, see you again next week. Thanks, everybody.